everyone, this is Bernice from the Napping Mouse, and in today's video I want to create these charming matchbook notepads. These are quick and easy to make. You can actually use up a lot of your scraps, and they're portable. They're great for teachers or students or anybody who wants to take quick notes. Also, you can use this as a little album, so put a picture here, write an album, or maybe a little traveler's notebook kind of thing going here. But yes, this is what we want to create, and what you'll need is one 12 by 12 cardstock. The one that I'm using, and I still carry this in my store, is called, it's from My Colors, and it's called Limelight. Now, as you can see, it does have a lot of pull, and I mean, you know, I don't want to say flimsy, but that's the only word I can come up with so far. But it is pretty thick, and it's great to use for this kind of a project that we're going to make today. So this is a 12 by 12, and if you're interested in this one, I still carry this in my store, so I'll leave the link down below. So if you're interested in buying this one right here, and I also have other colors too. So yeah, this one is called Limelight. Okay, next thing you're going to need, I'll put this over here, is 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper. You can use copy paper if you want. I am using waste not paper, and this is called soft white, which I still carry this in my store, and I sell it in packages of 10. Now, this is a little bit thicker than copy paper. I would say if you put 2 copy papers together. So it's a little bit better quality paper. You can use it as copy paper. So for example, if you wanted to print lines or grid dots or whatever else you want to put, actually pictures if you wanted to do that as well, you can go ahead and put it into your copy machine as regular copy paper. There's no like adjusting manually or doing anything like that. This could be used as regular copy paper. Okay, easy to print. And you'll need some twine. So got to cut this, so I'll cut this, but I'm using not in bow. Oh, I did cut it. Hey, I'm more ready than I think I am. So you'll need twine, 11-inch or 12-inch twine here. I'm using the knot and bow in black and copper. I still carry this in my store too, so I'll leave this link down below. And this comes, it's 8 ply, and it comes with 30 feet. Okay, so you'll need that, and then you'll need some brads. So I'm using regular brads that you can find, here you go, that you can find in the dollar store or whatnot. I just bought these since I'm going to be mass making this for Halloween, and instead of passing out candy or anything, sweets or anything like that, I'm going to do something a little bit different, you know, use up my scraps and also give it as a gift to them, and a little unusual, so I think they'll be happy with that. You'll need a punch. I'm using a 3/4 inch punch. This is from Stampin' Up. Just so you know, nothing that I have here is sponsored. The only thing that I push for you to buy would be anything from my store. Okay, oh sorry, so 3/4 inch circle punch. If you do not have a circle punch, use a nickel and trace around the paper and go ahead and cut it out. Okay, and then you'll need an awl. So put that here, and grab yourself a clip here, and this is just to hold the paper in place while we're stapling in there. And lastly, you will need a stapler if you want some embellishments, or if you want this is optional. And another thing that's optional is ink and a sponge. If you want to distress the edges, you can go ahead and do that. This is Distress Oxide from Ranger. This is the Tim Holtz, and this is in Vintage Photo. I won't be using this, but this is a very popular one and a great ink to use. Again, I'm not, I just like the product. I'm not sponsoring them whatsoever. Okay, and don't forget the stapler. I gotta go get my stapler, so I will be right back, and then we can get started. Thank you. Okay, folks, so the first thing you're going to use or need is a trimmer, and get your 12 by 12 paper. We are going to trim off 1 inch from the edge. Actually, since this is a 12 by 12, I'm going to go to the 11 side, but I am trimming off 1 inch. If you don't have a trimmer, then you can go ahead and get your ruler, pencil, and what you'll do is just measure 1 inch off the edge, mark it here on the top, the bottom, and the middle, and then get your ruler. If you have like a self-healing mat, go ahead and get your ruler and your knife and trim it down this way. If not, draw with the pencil here and cut it with the scissors. Okay, and now we'll leave this here for now. The next thing you're going to do is get your strip here, and then get your 3/4 inch punch. And what you'll do is cut as close as you can, or punch as close as you can, these little circles, because these are the little circles that we're going to create in there. Okay, I'll leave that on the side. And the reason why I say cut as close as possible, because we're going to make this into 3 inch, or the matchbook is 3 inches, so you can actually get 4 notepads out of or notebooks or matchbooks out of these, out of just 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper. Okay, so I'll set this for a later use, and then we'll get this, and let's get our glue, and we're going to glue 2 of this together. Rub that around so it gets the edges, and then I'm going to set this aside for now so it could dry while we continue with our project here. Yeah, put a little bit of glue. There we go. So now we are going to trim. Excuse me, we're going to score. So the next thing we will score, let me get my cheat sheet here. Okay, I hope you can see that. Yes, we're going to score at 4 3/4, 9 5/8. Oops, that was wrong. Oops. Okay, so 9 and there was a 1/2 5/8. Okay, we'll have to hide that. And 9 3/4. Okay, we'll fix that. This is why I never became a doctor. My little oopsies. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it to the 12-inch side, and at the 12-inch side you are going to cut it at 3 inches. Do it 3 inches 4 times. So, and only because this is a mass making, so I'll show you how much you can get out of it. So 3. If you only want to make 1, then you would just cut the 3-inch first, or get a 3-inch 3 by 11 piece and work with that. But the reason why you score first and then cut, so that we can only do the scoring on all of these. Now I'm only going to make 1. I will set these 3 aside for later, but we're going ahead and just make this 1. And what we'll do now is fold and, whoops, let me take this off because this is going to get in my way. Alrighty. Okay, so the next thing you do is you're going to fold and burnish. I'm using, this particular paper has a linen side and then also has a smooth side. I'm going to have the linen side on the outside. So I will fold and burnish. Now, as you can see, this paper is a little, I know it seems like it's flimsy, but it's pretty hard. So there we go. But if you need to, go ahead and use your ruler to fold it. Put your hands, trying to hit that, or and then score there. Okay. There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm not even going to burnish that part. I'm just going to leave it kind of like a round circle. Okay. All right. So go ahead and set that aside. And then the next thing we'll do, get your 2 papers, your 2.5, or excuse me, 8.5 by 11 papers. You can fold it separately. I'll fold it together because it's not too thick. You're going to, at the 8.5 inch side, sorry, the 8.5 inch side, you're going to fold it in half. So you're going to end up with 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, go ahead and burnish, and then get out. Oh, this made a little messy here. Maybe I'll erase it later. Okay, we'll just turn it over. Get your scoring tool, or excuse me, your trimmer, and we're going to trim this now at 3 inches 3 times. So 1 and 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11 will make it's for 1 matchbook, just so you know. Okay, did I get rid of it? No, I bet you I didn't. See, okay, whatever, we're gonna erase that part. All right, we'll set this little puppy aside, and next thing you're gonna do is open up all the sheets that you just covered and place them inside each other. Okay, that one, let's trim that part off, keeping it nice and clean. Let me see if I can erase this. Speaking of clean, huh? No. Okay, I guess that'll be for myself. I will keep it for myself. Okay, all right, now get your cover and place it inside the fold line of the cover. Get a clip like this just to hold it in place. Okay, and then we're gonna get our stapler and something to poke it through. Okay, so you don't really need a long arm. You're not gonna, and this won't fit like this. So what you'll do is open up the stapler. Now just keep in mind, with most staplers, there's like 2 places where you can open. One is to fill, and one is to actually do a longer staple, okay? So flip this over to the outside, and I'll try to stay, and I just kind of eyeball it, stapling it to the spine and giving it some love. There we go. And now do it again to this side. Oops, that didn't work. Okay, let's try again. All right, I know this does work. Using this thing does work. There we go. Okay, we'll get this out of the way. Now, when you close the prongs, go ahead and use some kind of like a pencil. I'm using my bone folder here. Do not use your fingers. And I know I really say this to all the videos every time I do any kind of staple, but I really just want to make sure that you guys do not get hurt, okay? Learn from my mistakes. All right, there we go. All right, we're gonna fold that. Make sure that's nice and folded, and then get our bone folder and kind of crease it to train the papers to fold in that direction. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so before we put these 2 on, this is where we come and use the scraps. Now I've done this here, so I'm going to make something similar to that. Maybe I'll do it in the black, but I've got scraps still from, here's the scraps from my stash. This one is actually from Recollection, which I'll be using it for Halloween, and you'll see me using it now. But what is it called? It is called Spellbound Forest. And I think at this time that I'm filming, Michael's is having some kind of sale. But just keep an eye out for that. I have Graphic 45. This one is, and this is just my favorite collection and company. I mean, I just love their designs, but we're going to use that. Now I've done red for this one. They are double-sided paper, so that's great, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. But this particular design is called Nature's Sketchbook, excuse me, Nature's Sketchbook. So I will use Nature's Sketchbook. Can I use that? I can, but okay, sometimes. All right, sometimes it's hard not to overthink, but that's what I'm gonna do. This would be really cool, and I'll use this here, and especially for Halloween. It just looks like a splatter, but anyways, we're going to be using this, and I'm going to actually eyeball this. I mean, if you want exact measurements, I usually don't. I usually just like make tick marks or whatnot, but I'm going to eyeball this. I'm going to create a kind of like what I did here, a mat, and then I'll put the design on top. So this, let me see, let me just do the mat first, and I will do tick marks, and I just kind of eyeball it to see if I can have 1/8 of an inch around. So I'll do that, and then let's go get our cutting board here, and we'll cut that. Oops, got too many things in the way. Okay, we'll cut that and set the scraps aside, and then we'll cut here, and then this is our mat. Oh, let's see. Oh, it will almost work if I did it like that. No, but I still want it 1/8 of an inch around, so I'm going to set this for scrap for later. And then let's get, let me see, which design. That's good. That's a lot right there. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with this one. I really like the way it's got a little bit of a white edge there, so I'll toss that. But I'll do the same thing. I'll create tick marks and just eyeball where 1/8 of an inch would be. And can I see it? Not really. Not with this. Let's do it this way. Okay. Well, you can barely see that one too, but let's wing it. Okay, I'll set my mat aside, and I will cut here. Set that aside, and we'll do this. Okay. Now, which one was supposed to go with where? There we go. Okay, I actually love it, so I'm just going to use this here. What's great about Graphic 45 is that their pages are double-sided, so you can see that they both match. You really don't have to think about matching it all together. So yeah, and you know what, before, let's just glue this because I don't want to get rid of this just yet. We're going to need that. Let's glue this. Now, because I'm mask making, I just go ahead and use liquid glue. But if you want, at this point, you can actually use the foam, what are they called? The foam spacers, and I still have those. Here, let me show you. It's the foam, the 3D foam squares, and this one will just pop up a little bit, which will make it really nice. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to ink. That's the whole point of me showing you the ink. But anyways, back to the foam spacers. If I was giving it to like a special teacher, or I wasn't making that much, like if I was just making the 4 or 8 or even 6 or whatever, I would do this. But because I'm going to be making around, oh, let's say 30, 40. Yes, we do get that. We get a lot of kids here. If that's a lot, I know some places gets more than that. But anyways, I am going to just do it this way. Now, before I forget, again, I'm going to ink the edges. Now, a lot of people like to ink the edges with like some kind of like a medium brown to make it like look like old photos or old paper, and that's great and it's beautiful. But I kind of like to change it up a little bit. So this one, this particular color kind of gives it that, you know, the gold edges from like gilded books or whatnot. Oh, I do have glue. I forgot about that. That's the look that I'm wanting to go, but not just for the pages, but for the whole project. Okay, let's spread that glue out. Now, it's a good idea for any crafter to keep some kind of like a wet paper towel. That's what I use. I don't even go for the baby wipes anymore. Just a wet paper towel will do. And then That looks nice. I like that. That's like a little surprise right there. And then also I'm gonna go ahead and do this side also. But anyways, just to save on paper, or excuse me, on keeping it economical for you. Where'd my pencil go? Okay, let's mark it there. So that's where we're gonna cut, and fine. And then we're gonna mark the tick marks over here. And let's see. Set those scraps aside. Okay. That would look great. Huh, that would look great too. Or maybe I can fussy cut that, put it over here on the side. Or just do what I did, make it match. Okay, you know what? Let's just make it match. That is too small. I'm gonna have to get a bigger piece. Okay, there we go. Can I see it? Not really. I hope everyone is doing well today. Let me know what your plans for Halloween. If you do celebrate Halloween, not everybody likes it. I kind of want to change it up. You know, the kids already get too much candy as it is. So, and I already have so much paper and so much scraps, and you would be surprised how much they really like it. They really enjoy having something new and something different. Okay, let's see now. Perfect. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'll set these aside, and then before I forget, let's ink the edges here, and you'll see what a difference this is. This particular, this ink is a little bit subtle with this paper, but it just matches the beige in the writing pretty well, and it prevents from getting any kind of white lines and everything. Now folks, just so you know, you don't have to use the exact projects or the exact products that I use. If you have it at your, you know, in your stash, go ahead and use it. This is all like scrap buster type of project. And sometimes we'll get so overwhelmed with everything, every paper that we have, every sticker, every embellishment that we have, and sometimes we just don't know what we have, and so we have to kind of stop for a hot minute and see what we have and then make use out of that. So I hope my videos will help you with that, because this is supposed to be fun, not nerve-wracking or stressful or actually even costly. It's not supposed to be that like that, so, or we don't need to have it be like that. Okay, so I'm going to take my trimmer out of the way because I won't need that any longer. Now I'm going to get these circles that we punched earlier today, and I will ink it up to stress it. There we go. Here in Texas, it has been pretty hot. Okay, I can't even say it's warm. It's beyond warm. It is hot. So I try to make my videos as early as possible and beat this heat. Get a pencil and mark the middle, okay, for both of them. And then if you have some kind of spongy kind thing, oh sorry about that, some kind of spongy thing. This was from some packaging. I couldn't even tell you which packaging it was, but every time I see these type of things, I go ahead and save them because I know I can use it. Now I've got it all. You can use some kind of pokey tool for that, and I just poked a little bit just to get that brad through. Okay, and we're going to do this. Now I'm going to see where I'm going to put the circles. Let's set this aside for now. Okay, that's going to be there. So let me do this. Let me go ahead and poke it. Since I've got the black paper, I'm not going to see where I marked it, I'm just going to use that. Now let's get our brads here. This one, I will put it through. Don't put it through too tight because you're going to put the twine around it and you want to make it easier. So, and actually if you need to cut, if your brad, the tail of these brads are too long, you can go ahead and trim it carefully though. Carefully. And you can use regular scissors as well. We'll cover that with scraps in a minute. Let's go ahead and finish this side. Okay, right there. I will hold it in place. And I'll have my brad ready for me. If you like what you see so far, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And also, if you like the videos that I have, please consider subscribing. It does help my channel. And also, I've got a ton of projects to do already placed. So yeah, I'll be filming a lot this year. That is my goal. Okay, there you go. Perfect. At this point, if you want to go ahead and cover the back, you can go ahead and do so. But for now, I'm not going to do that for the back. I'm going to get my twine right now. Here's the twine. Go ahead and tie a knot. This is beautiful, beautiful, high quality twine, but it does tend to unravel. So it is important for you to tie a knot. Now, the part that you did not tie, go ahead. I like to choose the top always. And we're going to tie this and tie twice to make sure that it stays. Also, the depth of that knot helps the circle to come up a little bit more so that it's easier to put it through. Now, carefully cut that and save that. A friend of mine, Elaine, I know this is a side note here, but her mother used to save even the smallest of these and put it inside some kind of can or a bowl. And when she collected a few of them, she would actually put it outside and the birds would take them and use it for their nest. Now, of course, she was a sewer, so she just used 100% cotton, things that were natural, nothing that was that would hurt the birds or anything. But it made their nest more sturdy. And I'm like, what I mean, that to me, it's a fantastic idea of not even throwing the littlest of things. So there's that side note. Okay, back to this video. Sorry guys. Now you've got that, you can go ahead and, oh, before we cover, I forgot about these brads. So another good idea is this. So since I showed you this in the beginning. So since I've got these, I can actually use these bugs to cover the brads and make it look like it's part of the project. So yeah, but I'm going to show you how to fussy cut. Now, when you're fussy cutting, this is going to be the easy part here because it's just a rectangle and it's a straight line. But I do not look at this part. I look at here. So I match this part of the scissors to the edge of the image. And that guarantees me that I'm going to make a straight cut. And I also do have control over this. Now I'm going to show you how to cut a circle, and it does take practice. Like if you got too much, just cut this off. It does take practice, but again, I'm going to go to the edge like that, and I'm not moving my scissors. I'm actually moving this here. This is like I'm turning the wheel now of like a car. So just keep turning and turning. And circles, to me, because they're so obvious, it does take practice to get it like looking nice and even. And just take your time. There's no rush for this. And especially when you're making these Halloween projects so early, who is in a rush? You know, we've got, what, 2 more months still? Okay, and then if you don't like the edges, just clean it up. There you go. Perfect. I'm just going to glue that right there. Where did I put my glue? There, perfect, perfect. Love it, love it. If you want to add some more embellishments to this or more paper, it would look really nice, but I'm just going to leave it like this, just for the purpose of the video. Oops. Okay, let's get that down. Make sure the glue is all spread out. Now I want to do this here. I can actually do this bug, but I'm not liking that it has that edge. Let's see. Let's see. No. Maybe we could do that. Maybe I can do it like this. You know what I'll do? I will do the bug, but I will trim it down even more so it can fit. So bye-bye frame. There we go. Alrighty. Do I need to trim it more? Yes, I do. Let's trim this down. I want to make sure that I keep that gold because I really do like that gold. Oh, and again, I forgot to ink the edges. Whoops. All right, perfect. So I'll glue that down. Oh, put too much. Let's spread that out so it doesn't look like a big blob from the outside. And it gets all the edges. Kind of like a little surprise there that people were not expecting to see bugs. I mean, butterflies are nice. I do like butterflies, but we have a ton of bugs here in Texas. And yes, sometimes you just have to choose your battles with bugs you want to be afraid of and which bugs you'll be okay with. Just a side note there. Okay, let me see. Got that all straightened out. Perfect. Well, I could have put that on the side. Let me see if I could still move it. What's great about liquid glue is that you can, you know, some glues do dry fast, but other glues you have time to move around last minute if you choose to do so. Okay, now let's go ahead and ink these edges here. Look how nice. See, look how nice it's gonna look. Almost looks like that gilded page on certain books that you find, especially the old ones. Ink the edges here. I mean, this is completely optional. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to do this. It just gives it a nice extra touch. I guess if you mass make, you can do like one part, like someone does the cutting, or you do all the cutting and then you do all the, you know, get like your kids involved or other people involved if you want to. There you go, the community involved. You know what I'm gonna do? This would be kind of fun to surprise somebody with this. So let's choose a page here and put another bug. Boom. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yes, that would be fun. And hey, you're using up your scraps. Let's go ahead and smooth that out so it's not bumpy on the other side. That's one thing about liquid glue, has its pros and cons. It's very inexpensive to use. You can use as much, you know, more so. It does give you time to move around because it does take just, you know, a little bit to dry. But sometimes it does add the bulk because it is water-based. I haven't had luck with glue, so maybe there's some other glues out there that I'll try. Okay, guys, there you go. This is the project. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear. And then also, if you do make these, put it, go to, God, I would love to see these projects too. I think it's at @the_napping_mouse. I'll have that written down on my next videos for that. But yes, there you go. That's the project. I hope you like it. Here's the other ones. And I know this is a little bit more steps than I've showed you and it took a little bit longer, but really once you get into it, I mean, look how many that I created already using my scraps here that I've got. I mean, a lot. Like, look, you can't even see the actual project that I showed you, but yeah. So there you go, guys. I'm glad that you spent time with me today. So I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye for now.